Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We are in the middle. It's your girl, Madam President, and you are tuned to the Madam President Morning Show. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. First and foremost, I want to say I am happy and excited today. Let me play my theme song. All right, we in the middle. You know how it goes. I'm your girl, Madam President, and we do this every single morning during the week, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know how I feel. I got a lot of gratitude for you because you can be anywhere in the world, but you are right here with me. Don't forget, this is brought to you by FlyNubianMoney.com. Fly Nubian Money, this is where my sisters live and my brothers. This is where you go if you want to get your money up. This is where you go when you want to get your mind up. It's all relative and necessary. And I'm not going to have a very long segment today, but I will say this. Before we go any further, let me say a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this Wednesday. We appreciate you. We love you. We ask for your protection, your peace, your guidance. We ask you to be a healer in our lives and all the places that we are hurt and harmed and injured. We ask for you to be the intellectual in our lives for all the places and areas that we need intellect. In your name we pray, amen. We got to give the Creator praise. And first of all, I just want to start with I've been seeing a few things online. I didn't see a lot of things that caught my attention. I really would like to, if you are a producer, you want to help me produce the Madam President show, feel free to go to madampresident.com, send me an email because I would love to have a producer to assist me on the show. I am local in the Atlanta area, so if you're in ATL, that's even better. Also, I would just like to go ahead and jump in and say that I was looking online. Remember, so I don't know if you all really remember this. Don't forget to drop where you're from in the chat. I'm born and raised from Chicago. You may be from Alabama. You may be from DC, you may be from, I don't know, anywhere you are, New York. I am from Chicago, born and raised. So you know about that inner city life when you're from Chicago, when you're from New York. It's like inner city. I went to college in Kentucky. So I will tell you that going to college in places like Kentucky, living in places like Georgia, there is a big difference between, inner city, major city, and, city in the South. That there's a very big difference. But what I will say is, after George Floyd was killed, there were so many different programs that was pushed to pretty much try to I want to say lessen the blow. They killed a man. So they were trying to get the community, trying to show support to the Black community. But I want to tell you that this was very hard for them to continue. This is why so many things have been dismissed by the time Trump was in office. And I want to say this to you so you can understand what I'm about to show you about Harvard. Harvard University just decided that they will give free tuition to people or anyone who makes under $200,000. Let's take a look at this right here. I saw the article. I'll have you to read it with me. All right, here it goes. All right, if you can see it, put Harvard in the chat. Put Harvard in the chat if you can see it. Put Harvard in the chat if you can see it. So it reads, Harvard is finally coming through for the people who need it most. The Ivy League powerhouse just announced a major shift that could change lives across the country. Starting in the 25-26 academic year, Harvard will offer free tuition for families that make under $200K annually. Students from middle class and working class families finally have a shot at attending one of the most elite schools in the world without drowning in debt. Let me ask you this. So, when you think about this is our Black folks' reparations that is being extended and shared amongst everybody. I don't know if you will agree with me on this, but this is just reparations. We have literally so what is happening is everybody is getting our reparations. I don't know if you have noticed, but everybody is getting our reparations. It is not specific. But the thing about the harm for Black communities, all of that was specific. Your grandparents were specifically told to go through back doors. Your grandparents were specifically denied certain levels of unemployment, some levels of education. It was specific. They did not say if you are a Black person and you graduated from high school, then you could. No. All of you all live in a ghetto. Redlining and zoning is an effect. Everybody is affected by that. Everybody. I see my boy, somebody says, no, it's not reparations. The reason that I believe that it's a form of reparations because it is a form to assist and aid a group of people who are in a lower tax bracket to aid them free tuition. Of course, that's a benefit. That is a help. That is a benefit that helps you have income, that help you, graduate, that helps you take away the possibility of, not having so many loans. If you are a middle class family, it is a form of reparations. Now, the thing is, it's just not to Black folks. This is to anybody. Reparations can be in all different facets. It doesn't have to be in one way. It doesn't have to be one lump sum. The Indians, the Indian community, the indigenous people, they have free education. The indigenous people, they have access to the money from casinos. They have a system in place. We're the ones who don't have a system in place. We over here like, yeah, I want this, and the other group was like, yeah, I want this, and I want, we have too many different desires. This is one of the reasons that we don't have a serious conversation about reparations, is because we can't agree on anything. Anyways, I wanted to talk about that. I solely believe that the level of extension that has been transpired through the death of George Floyd, like what people have been giving so many different groups, it was through George Floyd's death. So many people have been the beneficiary of George Floyd's death. They have gotten something in return because of his death. All types of programs were formed. All types of, you saw it online, all types of institutions had started saying, I stand with Black Lives Matter. When? You got 100 Black employees that's getting paid the least in the company. What do you mean you stand with Black people? This is just talk. I want us to get past that talk. All right, moving on. So Harvard, if you make, also too, I would never forget, I was watching a young lady who talked about going to Harvard, and she says, well, one of the things about attending Harvard is that I applied. So my thing to you is, if you want to go to Harvard and you make under $200,000 a year, your family does, maybe you should give it a shot. Maybe you should give it a shot. There may be time they may have more flexibility, more open to all types of things, untraditional students, etc. Give it a shot. All right, give it a shot. Don't be afraid to give it a shot. And a lot of things a lot of people believe that things are just outside of their reach, especially Black people. And I don't believe that for you. I don't believe that Harvard is outside of your reach. I believe that if you want to go to Harvard, you'll just go to Harvard. You'll try. You'll start the process. You'll figure out what's required to be there, and then you'll just say, "I'm going to go there." But some of us sometimes we just sit in the background, like, "Oh, that's for them." Let me tell you something. Ain't none on this planet just for them. You built everything here. There's no way you believe that certain things is just for them. Bust that damn door down. Bust it down. James want me to have another conversation. He says, why is it we can't come together on reparations? James, I want to tell you that I'm just going to say this really quickly because this is my show. This is the Madam President show. So I'm going to say what I want. The reason we can't come together on reparations is because we do not have a unified objective. We are a bunch of people that scream unity, but we are individuals in every aspect of our lives. Unity is not something that you can just march together for 30 minutes about. Unity is a way of thinking, it's a way of practice, it's a way of living, and we do not want to live with structure. You know, think about this. When you talk about reparations, you have to be a united front and a united all over. You know, we're not that. We're in the moment. But I don't know where you live. I don't know where you live and what side of town you live on. But we would have to have common cultural identity. We would have to share cultural interests. We would be like, oh, okay, we try the women in our community, they don't have children before they're married. We would have to make men, okay, well, it's not appropriate for you to have 5 different women pregnant and can't take care of any of them. We need structure. You can't get reparations and you got your son ready to kill his cousin. You can't even get to reparations when you are being destructive within the community. We have to fix this. It needs to be fixed. Then we can repair. And I don't even have the time to give you the real deal. The real deal. The real deal. How you've been dealing with 500 years of self-hate, 500 years of, a generational lineage of self-hate. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a great grandmother hating herself, birthing a group of children that also hate themselves, then birthing more children that hate themselves, then birthing more children that hate themselves? Can you even imagine? That's crazy. You all can't even we have to get past a decade of no generational hate. We be thinking that everything is going to be so magnified. Like, oh, it's going to happen this way. I'm telling you, it can happen with one family. Your whole lineage can change with one family changing the mind of how they do things. Well, we don't do it like this in our family. We're not doing it like this. And y'all be screaming ancestors. Oh, yeah, ancestors want strong, ethical, moral. You just be screaming ancestors, the ancestors. Which ones? Yes, I agree. We do. We do need real food and neighborhoods and education that matter and valuing education. People, we got teachers in our school. We got teachers right now today that can't get kids to listen. And why the hell we still have the same educational infrastructure 200 plus years? This shit ain't happening. We went to school. I'm telling you, nothing I learned at school helped me become a homeowner. Nothing I learned at school helped me with my tax problem. Nothing. We learned, my partner's son learning decimals. Damn them decimals. Get his kids some tax, some state taxes, some federal taxes, and start making them understand taxes from each state and what matters. a redundance, the education system is not in our favor. We have to be responsible for teaching the children. So anyways, I don't want to get me preaching because y'all know I can preach all day, I preach all night, but that's not really what I wanted to do today. So I want to stay on task. It's important that I stay on task because Dr. Boyce Watkins, he'll be coming on, and then Constance Carter will be coming on. And then after Constance Carter, you'll have Fly Nubian Queens. They'll be on at 1:00. So I'm getting started, but other people will continue carrying the torch for the day in Black media, different voices. All right, I'm just going to say this really quickly. William says, I got invited to talk at a Black school recently to speak to a photography class. It was mind-blowing how uninterested the students seemed. And let me just tell you something. One of the things that I can't really understand why young people don't have a sense of interest of innovation, even 25-year-olds, it bothers me to meet a 25-year-old, a 22-year-old that has no interest in the world. How are you so depressed and so bored when you have a world to explore? When you go to the school, William, and you're talking to kids about, you're talking to children about photography, they don't understand that books have photos, that newspaper, that we have digital worlds with photos. And this is a brother book out in Philly. He and his team sent this to me. I can't wait to go to Philly so I can check out his restaurant, but he did some great work. He owns a pizza shop in Philly. He hired former incarcerated Black men, allowed them to rehabilitate themselves. This is the kind of pizza shop that I want to make sure that I support down north. Yeah. Muhammad Abdul Hadi. You know that's a Muslim brother right there. That's a Muslim. But all right, I'm gonna move on because I want to talk to you about Just So Hilarious, what I've been seeing online. I want you to check out. Oh, before I move on to that, I looked at this story recently. Tyler Perry went to discuss Angie Stone's. He went to Angie Stone's funeral very respectfully. He was there for the family and said some very, very beautiful words. And Monique, the comedian, she responded with some things, and she just basically said that she wants her just due. But I wanted to bring the two stories together, Monique and Just So Hilarious, okay? So that's one of the things that I want to talk about is corporate trauma. Monique is still talking about what transpired in her professional career 5 to 7 years ago. I'm sorry, 10 years ago plus. And the reason being is because we are our work. We are invested in our work. You want to be an actor, you go and act. What you work for customer service. People may feel like you don't have an important job, but this is your life. This is what you do. It's important. And guess what it does? It's weighing on you every chance it gets. You're constantly feeling stressed out. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling overlooked. You're feeling so many things. But the beautiful part that I've noticed about Hollywood, and the beautiful part that I'm noticing about Just Hilarious situation that's currently going viral, is that it don't matter how big you get. It doesn't matter what level you're on. There's always some form of challenge until you get your mind right and you understand what's yours and what's not. What's yours and what's not. If you don't understand that, you're going to always walk around in frustration, disappointment. And I want you to see this right here. Here's what Corey Holcomb said. And because Corey Holcomb said this, Just Hilarious, she responded. But I'm going to start with his video right here. If you can, once I get the video up, put Corey in the chat. Just put Corey.
She got the job and got knocked up.
If you can see it, put Corey in the chat.
She got it.
Well, this is what happened at the Breakfast Club. She took that job. She got that job because I think she had a social media presence. I can't imagine why else.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
She got that job. And I always said she wasn't talented.
Been saying that for a while.
She got the job and got knocked up shortly afterwards. And the worst thing in the world happened. They brought in somebody who was talented.
Who they bring in?
Homegirl from she used to be on TMZ.
Yeah, she has experience with doing that. When she talks, her voice, I don't know her name.
Yeah.
The girl who is Lauren. That girl know what she doing. She knows how to fit in with Charlamagne and the other guy, DJ Envy. It's like it's seamless when she there.
Right.
It's the talent. The talent shows out. And then Les Hilarious ain't even reading right. And now she had a job where all she had to do was deliver the news. She had a segment on the Breakfast Club. The other girl who has experience and talent at this job took her segment. Right. Not because she tried to, it's just you saw somebody who's talented. And then you see, read that, Les Hilarious.
And she stood in for her when she took off maternity leave.
When she stood in for, Les Hilarious, you should have had your baby on camera at the Breakfast Club.
Stupid.
Because they brought in somebody who is talented. And you could say I'm dissing because that's what you're going to do. You're going to act like I'm hating. I'm not hating. You don't got the it. Your segment could have been good if you knew how to deliver it, right? But now they got somebody doing your segment better than you, and it's just flawless. It's effortless. And the girl tried to be your friend, and everybody could see you ain't trying to be her friend.
Audio yesterday. Hold up, be quiet. How everybody a real estate agent? How everybody?
Because a lot of the wags do that.
Rihanna for a long time.
And her outfit mattered.
No, listen, hush. This is not a Travis. No, Lauren. Just listen. Just please hush. This is not a Taylor Swift football game situation.
So I want to say to old girl Lauren, I hope that you get the job, and I hope Les Hilarious has to open up an OnlyFans with that bionic body that she bought.
All right, he's going too far. I'm not a fan of Corey's because he's not a fan of the creator. He's not a fan of God. The way he talks is one thing, but the way he disses women is a whole nother level of just complete disrespect. Doesn't value women, doesn't respect women, don't value. He talked about his kids, baby mama this. I don't laugh at that. I don't play with that. I don't act like we cool because we ain't. But I will tell you this right here. Jess Hilarious is a self-made comedian. In fact, if you look at Jess Hilarious' accomplishments and accolades, she did it from the ground up. These social media is an open platform to all people. I don't know why some people got 7 million followers and some people got 700, but I imagine that 7 million people looking at Jess Hilarious, finding her hilarious, finding her funny. And here's another thing. People have time to improve. We don't have to start off excellent at every single thing. She has time to improve. And let me tell you something else. I realized something about this year. I turned 40. So I am literally I'm looking at people's talent and abilities, and I am not connecting with everybody that's 27. And it's just a reality oh, okay, this is not for me. This is not for me. But I like Jess Hilarious. I find her funny. She gave me that inner city, comedy that I preferably enjoy. I don't catch her every day on the Breakfast Club because I don't catch the Breakfast Club every day. Like some people, I just kind of catch, the good interviews or the clips that goes viral, things of that nature. But I'm not an everyday, weekly Breakfast Club person. But I will tell you this, Jess Hilarious, she saw it and she began to respond. And I got an even deeper reply after we hear her response. Take a listen at her reply.
This is her segment. Now, this is no longer Jess with the mess. You know, got dark fats as a mother.
If you all can see, put Jess in the chat. If you can
That's
see.
our segment. Take me off that. Y'all give her that. Take me off that. This is her segment. Now, this is no longer Jess with the mess. You know, got dark fats as a mother. Okay. I said, take me off that. This is no longer my segment. I said it. Take me off of that. Give it to her. Give it to her. Charlamagne said, nah, I don't want it to be her segment. It damn near sure is already. Like it's her segment. She's reading it and she's doing it to the best of her ability. Shorty is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave. That's why I picked her. Y'all need to understand something. I'm never hating on Shorty. I already told her. I tell her every day. I tell her she's pretty every day. I tell her every day. I big up this woman every day. Every day. She started doing the news. I'm like, all right, look, that's her segment. Take me off that. Y'all give her that. Take me off that. This is her segment. Now, this is no for y'all teammate. It's ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school. It is. Fair East Side High. But for Mr. Clark, though, I don't have no reason to on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these doing up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. It's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sound. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess off. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My group don't know nothing. Jess with the mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the mess is not being done. Lauren LaRosa is doing it. I don't have no reason to get on that girl. We supposed to be a team up there. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm like not one mother ever with this online. Like, why the should we have to keep playing it? Man, listen, I know one thing. Angela Yee ain't that much crazy. Not as crazy. It try to make her out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that 13 years. I'm telling you, I don't give a. Y'all already know what's up with me.
All right, so here's the facts. You all think that when you get fame, that it just everything just get peachy. You all think when you get the money, everything just get peachy. No, you heard Biggie Smalls when he says more money, more problems. That's what it is. More money, more problems. And here's why I did this course. I was working. I started working probably hard and good at about, I say 24. And when I got into this environment of working, I started to realize something. I'm going to tell you the first thing. There was a desk situation. And I'm so glad for mentorship. I'm so glad that I called people that I didn't always have an understanding of the environment that was happening. So I'm getting into this. I get a job at this major studio and I'm working. And I had a desk. I said, well, this is my desk. And we were all just kind of working in a group area. But I selected my desk. And then the next day, my desk was gone, or this another guy took the desk. And I remember feeling like, I asked the guy, I was like, yo, what are you doing? I took this my desk. I came here, put my stuff here. This my desk. I called a mentor, somebody who was in the game of working many years longer than me. It may sound like a silly story to you, but I'm gonna tell you what my mentor told me. I called my mentor. I said, yeah, I'm tripping. Like, I don't like it over here. I was sitting and this person took my desk. And my mentor told me this. He said, your desk is at home. Don't get caught up in their desk. You hear me? You need to understand that this is not your stuff. It does not belong to you. When you go in there, you do your job, do what they were hired for you, do what you were hired to do, but don't act like that this is a permanent seat for you. I want you to understand that. He told me that, and he talked to me just like that. I was about 24 years old. He said, don't think that this is a permanent seat for you. Find somewhere to sit and do your job. I want you to not care where you sit, in fact. I don't care. Will they put you at this desk? They put you over there. You ain't no executive. You ain't got to fight for no office. You know what I'm saying? Hey, move on. It changed my mind. He said, but when you go home, that office that you got in your home, that's yours. That belongs to you. We have been taught, let me tell you something. I created this course called Corporate Trauma. We have been taught the most valuable Black. This is how we've been programmed. We've been programmed. Oh, this one right here is the MVB, the most valuable Black. This one, we can't have two. We can't have three. We got to have one. Don't play don't play that kind of game with them folks. You're valuable. You're important. Now, what you should be understanding is your job is to be taken serious. See, a lot of times when you in the comedic place, you over there laughing and talking and giggling all the time, you can't think about business. This is why I don't like folks that like to get high and drunk all the time, because you got to be sharp going against what you are going against and settings that you don't know nothing about. But you want to play games all the time, you ain't going to be able to play games every single time, because sometimes it requires seriousness. And I'm going to tell y'all something, as a Black community, when people get serious, we don't like it. Black folks don't like people. Oh, I don't like him. He too serious. Why? Why you want somebody to play with you all the time? You too old for that. Oh, I don't like her. She too serious. Why? Life is serious. Why do you want somebody to play with you all the time? All the time. You just want to hee ha ha, knee slapping funny. Your ass sitting under a bridge, knee slapping funny. I never forget, depending on where you come from, you know, a lot of Black folks got financial trauma. I don't know, you know, I'm not saying everybody do, but financial trauma, just the traumatic experience of not having your finances, the traumatic experience of not being able to meet your needs, meet your bills. But I'm telling you, we want to play a game. We want to play a game that sometimes it's not time to play. When you a young person and you have opportunity in front of you, you know, you got to catch it. Also, too, this is what the industry does to women. Put them against each other very quickly. As you can see, Charlamagne and Envy, they sitting up there just fine. They're growing as old as they want to be in this arena because they're men. And not to mention, they're men. They've been doing it a lot of years. Their seats are just fine. But the two women, they got a cat fight for their seat. Don't you cat fight. This is what's important. This is why having a relationship with God is so much greater than having a relationship with man. God, why am I here? You going to them, asking them what's going on. You got to go to the Creator. Heavenly Father, I'm here. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my moment? Is this just for the moment? What am I supposed to be doing next? How many people am I supposed to touch? Is Jess hilarious? Is this something that's supposed to be here? When y'all let all of this stuff stir up your whole life, your identity, your existence, your being, then all of a sudden you confused because man controlling all of your input, everything you feel about yourself, everything you do. Man. I told you this, promotion comes from God. Promotion comes from God. It doesn't come from man. I'm going to tell you this too, validation. God has already validated you. Jess hilarious, you funny already. You ain't got to be on the Breakfast Club. Continue to be funny. God is giving you the gift. You about to let them mess up the gift that the Creator has already given you. The lady Lauren, I don't know her. I haven't seen her too many times, but God has given her the gift. She can do it. It's hers. Don't let Hollywood drive you up a wall. Don't let it drive you crazy because it will. And I already showed you the clips yesterday where Diddy kids don't get a phone call. So you sitting around a bunch of people who gonna laugh with you, but they ain't gonna never call your kids. If you die, they ain't gonna call your kids. They ain't gonna say, hey man, I don't know what your dad taught you, but if you know anything about radio, come and work for me. You're never gonna get that from that group of people. So you might as well start cultivating something that can outlive the space that you're in. Now, like I said, most valuable Black, hear me out. If I do this, I actually teach the course on Saturday morning. I teach the corporate trauma course. This is for men and women. The corporate trauma course, all Black people navigating stress through the workplace. Yes, this is important. You at work, navigating stress at the workplace. You can right now. I can do this. Go to www.madampresident.com and you can sign up for the course on Saturday and see what you're dealing with in the workplace, how to manage it, how to overcome it, how to keep your sanity in an insane environment. I wanted to show you this clip because some of y'all are sitting at work and you think it's just your job. The girl is a famous comedian, social media influencer that works for the Breakfast Club, and her job in jeopardy too. She dealing with drama too. It doesn't stop no matter how high you get. You will always have challenge. If you're lucky. I always tell God, thank you so much. I appreciate you for giving me the insight to manage these challenges. God, I thank you so much for giving me the insight to manage these people. People are manageable. See, the thing is, we try to control situations. Some of you don't do it too well anyway. Control. You can't control people. I'll never forget my professor in college, Dr. Offit, wherever he is. Dr. Offit, I hope you and your family are well. Dr. Offit, he told me, he said, if you're going to be a teacher, whatever you're going to do, you can't control anything. You can only manage. So you already know some of the best people we've ever worked for in our lives were great managers. The people that we hated working for were horrible managers. People were trying to control you when they were micromanaging. It's control. Hey, where's this? Where's that? Let me see how you're doing that. Control. But the people who's managing and manage well, hey, can you have this to me in 2 hours? Then they take a look at it. They send it back to you. Oh, okay, this looks good, but here's what needs to change. Send it back to me in a couple hours. That's the difference between management and control. Some people are trying to control and some people are good at managing. Put management in the chat. Management in the chat. All right, guys. I appreciate you so much. I enjoyed our segment today. You already know. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. I'm Madam President, and I do this every single Monday through Friday. All right. I'm putting in the chat, madampresident.com. If you want to sign up for the corporate trauma course, I think that you should. You want to navigate work stress. All right. this is a good start. This is a good place. If you want to purchase my book, you can go to madampresident.com. Matters of the heart. I'm a woman that is all about the heart chakra, throat chakra. Look, ain't no backstabbing, ain't no two. I'm the type, I'm going to call your kids if you get, if you ain't around no more. I will call your children. I will see what resources I have to extend to them because I'm built that way. I'm built that way. My family is built. My mother is a person who built that way. And my mother, let me just tell you really quickly, my mother is a person. Oh, baby, she can stress you out. Trust and believe that. But my mother has been an aid to so many people at funerals. I said, Mom, why are you going to everybody's funeral? What? She like, oh, such and such passed away. I got to go. I got to pay respect to the family. I'm like, and then I realized, man, that's just what I come from. I come from a lineage of empathy, a lineage of care, a lineage of concern. Tap into it. People be trying to, I realize I told you before, all these years, I was telling people, oh, I came from nothing. I came from nothing. God told me, you need to stop lying to people. And I'm like, you came from everything. You came from love. You came from compassion. You came from respect. You came from people who cared about people. So what? You didn't have a whole lot of currency. But I told you, he said, I don't use currency. People, that's my currency. So when you think you telling folks you came from nothing, stop lying. Because if you're a decent human being, I guarantee you came from a lot of love, a lot of care. So don't ever say you came from nothing. All right, y'all, I'm out. I'm done preaching for the day. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you. We got up to 333 people today. It's been good. Follow me on all social media platforms. Keep up with Madam President and Fly Nubian Queens by texting the word Queens to 87948. Text Queens to 87948. I enjoy doing this with you every single day. Don't forget to keep up with Dr. Boyce Watkins, Constance Carter at 11, and Fly Nubian Queens at 1 p.m. All right, guys, I'm out.